salty about it, but I am really salty about it. Ugh. The moment I opened this book, I could feel it. I could feel the ick factor just creeping in, okay? I was so angry at these characters. Disgusting. You guys know how much I love going off the rails. Nope, no ma'am, she's not gonna go there. And she went there and things go down and blah, 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 blah. Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you've joined me today. For today's video, we're going to be diving into all the books that I read in the month of June. June was the very start of my summer vacation. I'm going to put air quotes around that because I did teach summer school, and I feel like June was a really hard month in so many different aspects. My husband went through some health issues during that month, and we were just kind of really all over the place. So my reading was all over the place. I didn't read as many books as I would have liked to read, that's for sure, but I did read a couple of really good books this month. So I think the total amount of books that I read was maybe 10. Hold on, let me check. 11. Okay, so to overcomplicate things, I read a total of 11 books, but DNF 2 of them. So technically I only read 9, but 11 books were in my presence this month. But I did find some new favorites, and I did find some ones that I'm going to steer clear from, so let's go ahead and dive in. Alrighty party people, let's get started. So the first book I picked up in the month of June was completely by impulse because my friends were talking about this book and I had to pick it up like immediately. And this is Live and Let Chai by Bree Baker. This is a cute cozy mystery about a woman who owns an iced tea shop, and she basically has all these different kinds of iced tea, and all of a sudden a customer of hers is found dead with a sweet tea jar from her restaurant next to him. So I feel like that's gonna put a damper on business probably. This is so darn cute, and this delivered all the summery beachy vibes that I need right now because it's so hot outside and I'm not at the beach. I'm not that salty about it, but I am really salty about it. But this took me to the beach mentally. I loved this book, and this actually started an unofficial buddy read in my Discord channel for my book club, Comfy Cozy Book Club. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link my video where I talked about it down below. That way you can check out that video and get all the details. So yeah, this was our book for June, and then we are continuing reading the series for the rest of the year. So in the month of July, we will read book number 2. I also forgot to tell you my rating for this one, and it is a whopping 5 stars. Next book I read was Yours Truly, and that is by the one and only Abby Jimenez. So many of my friends have been after me to pick up this book and Part of Your World. I finally picked up Part of Your World. I finally picked up Just for the Summer. This is the one in between. This one is following our main characters, Brianna and Jacob. And Brianna and Jacob work at the same hospital, and Jacob is this very grumpy, unapproachable doctor, and they kind of meet on really bad terms. And some things start going down, and Jacob may not be all that he seems to be. Let me tell you right now, Abby Jimenez knows how to write men. If she knows how to do anything at all, it is to write fictional men. These men that she writes are something else. I will say this wasn't my favorite in the series. I still ended up giving it a 4.5. Just for the Summer still takes the top spot for me. This wasn't giving me those 5-star feelings, and there were a couple things in here that I just could have done without, but I really, really liked these characters, and I really liked this storyline. And again, Abby Jimenez can write men. And now it started going downhill. I picked up The Hunting Wives by May Cobb, and guys, let me tell you, I was anticipating this one for so long. It's been on my shelf forever, and I have always looked at it because look at this cover. Doesn't that seem like the most domestic, fun, rich people drama time? And I'm not even gonna lie. The moment I opened this book, I could feel it. I could feel the ick factor just creeping in, okay? I have read a bunch of different things, and there are just some things that get my gears rolling, and not in a good way, because I was so angry at these characters. So basically we're following a mean girl situation where we're following one character that's an outsider and she wants to be part of this group. And then you got the leader who thinks she's the best, and the outsider wants to be just like the leader, and they take her in under their wing. Ugh. I cannot even tell you how infuriating this book was. It was so icky. It was disgusting. These grown women were having relations with these minor teenage boys. And let me tell you, I literally was reading it and I said, May Cobb is not going to do that. Nope, no ma'am, she's not going to go there. And she went there and I immediately said, next. I told y'all. It went downhill from here, okay? It Takes Two to Mango by Carrie Doyle. I picked this up. I had the physical copy. Obviously, I don't have it right now. That should tell you how much I like this book, okay? I usually really am optimistic about a cozy mystery because I feel like cozy mysteries can do really no wrong. Like, you really have to try to make a cozy mystery not enjoyable for me. This was so convoluted. There were so many things going on. There were so many characters, so many side plots that had nothing to do with the actual plot. I didn't like it at all. It's cute. It is so darn cute, but let me tell you, if you're going to pick up a summery, beachy cozy, let it be Live and Let Chai. I'm not even going to tell you guys what it was about because I really don't even remember. 2 stars. And then the woman herself redeemed my month, okay? I picked up Minka Kin's Stillwater Girls. And if you guys have ever been to a bookstore before, I'm sure you've seen this title around. I personally picked it up on Kindle Unlimited because all of her books, I believe, are on Kindle Unlimited. And if you guys have watched my recent videos, I've been talking about this author. And she writes really short, fast-paced thrillers, and I don't know why I've never discovered her because she is a gem. This book goes off the rails, okay? And you guys know how much I love going off the rails. So basically, this book is crazy from the get-go. It's following 2 sisters, and you know that they're living in isolation. They're in this cabin in the woods, completely far away from everybody else. They're kind of out of touch with reality almost. They don't have much money at all. They don't have many resources. They don't have much food or indoor plumbing. Like, they just don't have these resources that would make sense. And so right off the bat, you're trying to figure out why these girls are in isolation and they're by themselves. So you're trying to figure out who these girls are, what they're doing, what's happened to them. And I just want you to know that I was hooked, line and sinker throughout the entire book. I loved this book. If you're in for a good time, but not a long time, 5 stars. The next book I picked up was actually on a whim, and this is because I was participating in Gwen's Survivor Challenge over on her Patreon for Talk Bookish to Me, and if you aren't a part of that, I highly recommend that you join her Patreon. It's such a fun time. But in the month of June, she did a Survivor reading challenge that's based off the actual show. It was so much fun. I didn't last very long, but it was good. But I really needed something quick and easy to read, and I picked up this audiobook called Mad Love, and this is by Wendy Walker. Let me make this very clear. I love me a good full cast animated audiobook. For me, if the audiobook is rich, then I'm more apt to enjoy the book more. This audiobook was one of the best audiobooks that I've ever listened to in my life. It had the sound effects, it had the different people in it, you could hear noises in the background. It was so good. It felt like you were literally walking around with these characters. It was so good. Now, the actual plot, it was fine. Like, it was just an average thriller for me. Like, if you're going on a road trip or if you're sitting somewhere for multiple hours, I would definitely recommend that you pick this up. It is so good. I will say that it is an Audible original. I don't think you can get it anywhere else. They were madly in love, the perfect couple. That was the story everyone in South River believed until Jen Talcott and Adam Archer are found shot in their bed. Adam is dead at the scene. Jen is fighting for her life. Detectives Greta Jessup and Finn Pate are assigned to the case. Greta has a long history with Jen's first husband, Eddie, and is determined to protect his 18-year-old twins, and so on and so forth. It's just a good domestic thriller with a lot of twists and turns. You know, in the roller coaster, it goes up, 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 and then you're like at the top of the hill and you're like, I can see it's gonna go down from here. Let's talk about this one. One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. This was an anticipated release for me. I really love Ruth Ware, but I've also not really loved everything that I've read by her. I have disliked a few of her books, and this was one of them. I don't know, y'all. I just didn't feel this one. You're basically following our main character, and she's talked into joining this couples reality survivor TV show with her boyfriend, and it's basically that these couples go to this remote island and I guess they like fight on reality TV, and things go down and blah 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 blah. And then they start getting picked off one by one. They start dying. Things start happening. I liked the atmosphere. Okay, I liked the setting. I liked the tropical vibes in here. I think that this was an okay mystery at best. I wasn't shocked by the twist. I saw it coming 8 million miles away. I didn't really like any of these characters, even our main character, which I have found that that is a theme with Ruth Ware books. Sometimes I just don't like her main characters. I gave this one a 3-star. And then I finally got to pick up my favorite author's new book, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. This was also an anticipated release for me, and I did a whole entire reading vlog on this book with my thoughts and reactions and everything, and I go into detail in that video. I did not do spoilers in that video, and I will not be doing spoilers now because I want you to read this book. So if you haven't watched that video and you want to know more in-depth thoughts of this book, go watch that one. I'll link it up above. This book was creepy from page 1. I think that this probably was his most eerie, creepiest book, and I really did like the 90s aspect of it. It really gave me Stranger Things vibes. He really does a great job of keeping you entertained. We're following our main character Ethan, and Ethan is living a dual timeline, one when he was a kid and now present day. When Ethan was a kid, he had a friend named Billy, and they were having a sleepover in a tent one night in Ethan's front yard, and Ethan wakes up the next day and there's been a gash in the tent and Billy is gone. And fast forward all these years later, Billy is still not found. I was feeling all the feelings in this book. I was going through all of the emotions because it's a Riley Sager book, and I don't know how you could read a Riley Sager and not feel all the things. I will say I gave this one a 4-star. This was not my favorite by him by any means. I do think that I put a lot of expectation on this book. I think I put it up too high. And I think I just like skyrocketed my expectations, and that was really not fair. However, I was a little bit let down by this twist. I really didn't think it made that much sense. And because of that, I did dock a star because I really did want a little bit more from this twist. And that makes me so sad because I usually love Riley Sager's twists. It just kind of felt like it had been done before. But overall, this was a creepy, fun, really good, fast-paced time. And we're getting to my second DNF of the month, and that was The Marriage Act, and this is by John Mars. I have read The One by John Mars and really enjoyed that one. I picked this up for my friend Elise's new book club that she started called the Libernauts, and this was our book club pick for June. I really, really, really liked this book in the beginning. I'm gonna let you know. It was crazy. There was things happening and I did not expect any of it going down. Basically, this book is about a program that you can download on your phones or your watches that is called a smart marriage, and it basically tracks how your marriage is doing. It listens to your conversations and it listens to the things that you do in a marriage, and it basically puts you in levels of how in danger you are to getting a divorce. And then it intervenes depending on what you need. It was a very great concept and I really did like the audiobook, but unfortunately I did DNF it at chapter 60. I got pretty far into this book and I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't really enjoy the language throughout it. And there were just some things that just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, John Mars, you're trying too hard and we're done with this. But I do eventually want to pick up more by John Mars because I do think he's a great writer. I just think he tried too hard with this one. Next, I picked up Throttled, and this is by Lauren Asher. This is the first book in her Dirty Air series. This is an F1 Formula 1 driver series. If you guys have been around for a while, you guys know that I've talked about Lauren Asher till I am blue in the face. I love this author so much. She writes adult romance novels. I loved her Dreamland Billionaire series, and I also have really loved the Lakefront Billionaire series, which we'll talk about in a second. This one was following Noah and Maya, and Noah is a very grumpy, gruff, unapproachable, mean F1 driver who has had his fair share of trauma. And Maya is the sister of a new driver that is on Noah's team. And I guess they fall in love or something. Okay, look, if I go into a romance and I don't like the guy, I'm already off. I have already gotten off the train and I'm headed somewhere else.
Noah was hard to describe. How do I describe Noah? Noah was...
Okay, I thought that he was a huge jerk. I just didn't like his character. I didn't like his character. I didn't like the way he treated Maya sometimes. He did get better. Again, you gotta understand his trauma to understand why he is the way that he is. But at the same time, pal, you gotta move on from that. At some point, you gotta become a better person, okay? I just didn't see enough character development in Noah to really be all in for the romance. Maya was great. I loved her. She was sweet as sugar. I just didn't vibe with Noah. I don't know if you caught that or not. I wasn't a fan of Noah. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. Okay, did I finish this book on the 1st of July? Yes. Am I still going to count it towards my June wrap-up? Absolutely. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, that one was a dud. The one I just talked about by Lauren Asher. This one? Okay. Let me control myself. Okay. I'm not going to say a thing. The only thing I'm going to do is show you my tabs of this book, okay? Yep. And it's not just tabbed. It's highlighted. Like, there are highlights all throughout this book. This book is going to do the talking. Okay. Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This is book 2 in the Lakefront Billionaire series. Book 1 is called Love Redesigned, and that one is just as good as this one. This one is following Raphael and Ellie, and Raphael was the cousin of Julian, which we saw in Love Redesigned. And Ellie is Raphael's nanny. Let's talk about it, because I know I'm going to get questions about it. Lauren Asher is an adult romance author. She does write spice in her books. Please be aware of that. This is not a clean romance. However, if you can see, this book is 600 pages. And I would say we got to about this far. I had read that much, and this far was left until we saw an open door scene. There was talk throughout it, and there was language throughout it, but we got that far. Okay, all of this is good, okay? This is good stuff. This was character development. This was trauma. This was getting to know the connections. This was getting to know the tension. This is gold right here. This part of the book is where Lauren Asher captures your heart, okay? Because I don't need this. I don't need the spice. It's not that big, by the way. It's like a couple pages. I don't need that. What I do need is I need depth, okay? I need depth. I need character development. I need to feel that these characters love each other. And let me tell you, they do. They do. Not only does Lauren Asher do a great job of making you fall in love with the characters as a couple, she makes you fall in love with the characters individually. Raphael had his own set of issues, he had his own baggage, and we really explored Raphael, but at the same time, we went and explored Ellie. So we were getting these two characters and getting their lives, and then throughout the book, she brought them together. I cannot tell you how good these are. Again, use your own convictions when going into a book like this, but at the same time, y'all, this is what a romance should be. I will die on that hill. 5 stars. Okay, everybody, that's it. Those are all the books that I read in the month of June. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know if you got any recommendations from what I talked about today. And let me know what your favorite book of the month was. And until next time, my friends, please remember this world is a better place with you in it. And I'm so thankful you stopped by my little corner of the internet today. And I will see you on my next video. Bye, guys.